Hello everyone, I am Nilanandhini, Assistant Professor of English, A.D.M. College for Women, Autonomous, Nagapattinam. Today we are going to see a play, Muktadhara by Rabindranath Tagore. Rabindranath Tagore was a world-renowned poet, philosopher, novelist, dramatist, painter and educationist. He wrote in many genres, poetry, novels, short stories, plays, essays and songs, and composed over 2000 songs known as Rabindra Sangeet, two of which became the national anthems of India and Bangladesh. His famous works include poetry collections Geetanjali, Sonatari, the novel Gora, the short stories like Kabuliwala, and plays such as Duck Girl. The Tagore's writings reflect deep humanism, spiritual vision, and love for nature. Tagore's writings combine Indian traditions with universal values, earning him the title Gurudev and a permanent place in world literature. He was the first Asian to win the Nobel Prize for Literature for his poetry collection Geetanjali. Now let us see the introduction of the play Muktadhara. Muktadhara or the Waterfall is one of the masterpieces of Rabindranath Tagore. It was published in 1922. The play is the most popular and symbolic of all the plays of Tagore. The play has been translated from Bengali version into English by Majri Sykes. The play takes its name from mountain stream named Muktadhara, which literally means a free rivulet. It is a mountain spring. Its water rushes down the slopes of Uttarakhand and irrigates the plains of Shivatarai. The play reflects Tagore's humanistic ideals and his opposition to oppression, mechanization and misuse of power. Now let us see the important characters in the play. The main characters are Ranajit, Abhijit, Sanjaya, Vibhuti, Dhananjaya, Vishwajit. The minor characters are Amba, Suman, Gauri, Ganesh, Vijayapal, Uddhav, Flower Girl, citizens of Uttarakhand, travelers on the road, villages of Shivatarai, and royal attendants or courtiers. Now let us discuss about the setting of the play. The play is set in an imaginary kingdom of Uttarakhand ruled by a powerful king who seeks to dominate both people and nature. The central location of the drama is around the Muktadhara waterfall, which has a deep spiritual and practical importance for the common people as it's their natural source of life and sustenance. King Ranajit of Uttarakhand built the mighty Muktadhara dam over 25 years, controlling water flow to the dependent region of Shivatarai. The dam symbolizes the political control and environmental manipulation, sparking conflict and suffering downstream. Now let us see the places where the play takes place. The play takes place in Uttarakhand, a province on a hill which ruled by King Ranajit, Shivatarai, a small province whose peoples are subjugated by the king. Next, the Chandampatna, a town from where Vibhuti brings labors by kidnapping the young man. Next, the Ditoli, the place where the flower girls belongs to, and Mohangar, a province ruled by Vishwajit. Now let us see the story of the Muktadhara. The story unfolds in the state of Uttarakhand on the road leading to the temple of Bhairava. A dam has been built near the temple across the stream of Muktadhara. This dam overflows by a high steel tower, the spire of the temple Bhairava. Ranajit rests by the roadside when the play starts, waiting to go with his ministers to the temple to participate in the festival there to be held in the honor of construction of the dam. The temple priests are getting ready to perform the rites. A procession of devotees comes along chanting of the hymn to Bhairava, the Lord of Terror. A pilgrim from a foreign land who attends the festival regards the mission as an evil thing, but the citizens of Uttarakhand greet it as a proof of victory of science over nature. A poor old woman who also comes there crying piteously for her son. He was one of those who perished in the construction of the dam. A messenger from Yuvaraj, a crown prince, in the meanwhile brings a message from Vibhuti, a royal engineer who has caused so many deaths in the construction of the dam. but he pays no heed to the message. He, in the end, is warned that the dam would be destroyed by the prince himself. Some citizens of Uttarakhand come here to meet Vibhuti. They are proud of him and they load his neck with a garland. Ranajit too enters, conversing with his minister. The king is happy because now the people of Shivtare could be made more submissive. The minister does not agree with the king. The prince was recalled because he proved himself to be rather soft and gentle to the inhabitants of the Shivtare. The king wanted to rule over Shivtarians by the rod of threat and fear. The prince comes to know of the fact that he was not the royal birth but a foundling child lifted from near the Muktadhara. He comes to regard himself more and more as a son of Muktadhara. He gets reopened the blocked Nandi pass. Such an act is regarded by the king as a trickery, and Dhananjaya is stirring up affection against him in Shivtare. The king also thinks that Yuvraj is being helped by king's uncle Maharaj Vishwajit. Amba comes crying for her dead son. The king assures her that by his sacrifice her son has received the world's gift. The king himself regards the steel tower as a dark and menacing. The other batch of citizens who come there are grudgingly proud of Vibhuti. They are warned by an unkempt and a wild old man, Batuki, not to go there. He has sacrificed his two grandsons to the god of thirst, who is installed in the temple instead of original god. Yuvraj Abhijit and Rajkumar Sanjaya comes there. Sanjaya is pained that Yuvraj is leaving the palace, which is regarded by him as a prison house. Batuki is beaten by the people of Uttarakhand, who did not like the ill-omened cries and warnings. The Yuvraj tells him that the time has come for him to break the altar. Uddhav hints to Yuvraj that the king is very angry with him and asks him to go away at once. Vijayapal, the commander-in-chief, brings the command from the king. The crown prince is now a prisoner. Then the play introduced a very interesting character, Vairagi named Dhananjaya. He has been teaching the people of Shivtare to resist the king's violence with non-violence. The Shivtarians are agitated and state that they no longer bear the beatings of the king's brother-in-law. Dhananjaya consoles them by saying that they should not attach so much importance to themselves. He knows that he will be caught when he goes to attend the king's festival. But he is not afraid of the king. He advises them to learn the self-reliance. The Shivtarians have their own racial rights. The citizens of Uttarakhand are jealous of Vibhuti at his promotion. The bourgeois at this moment, they are proud of him. Dhananjaya returns and says that the man he saved not by others but by himself. The news is brought that the king has recalled the Yuvraj from Shivtare. The Dhananjaya talks to the king in mystic manner, but the king is unable to understand him. Dhananjaya tells the king that he will not ask the people of Shivtare to pay the taxes. The people are ready to rise in the revolt, but Dhananjaya asks them to go home quietly. Dhananjaya is really ashamed of their weakness and he is arrested by Uday, the captain of the guard. The people of Uttarakhand are angry with Yuvraj, who does not hanker after the king's throne. It is enough for him that he has won the heart of the nation. A secret plan has been made by Vishwajit and Uddhav to take the Yuvraj from the king's prison by a force. He will be taken by him to Mohangad. Vishwajit cannot hold the Yuvraj for a long and bids him a loving farewell. Dhananjaya sings a song in praise of fire. He regards it as a breaker of bondage. Dhananjaya assures Batuki, the old man, that the Bhairava will begin his dance of destruction when the time comes for it. Dhananjaya is tied by the people of Uttarakhand as they cannot understand his talk. He sings a song of freedom, then later he all set free. The ruined fort that used to block the Nandi pass is required to be rebuilt. Vibhuti has a premonition that the dam is to be breached. The king is informed at the end that the people of Shivtare are coming to meet him. They will set the crown prince free and make him as their king. Dhananjaya appears strangely elated and Muktadhara starts coming down in a waterfall. The dam is breached and Abhijit is passed beyond their wrath and revenge. He has set the Muktadhara free in her freedom and he has found his own freedom. Muktadhara has carried his wounded body in her loving arms and has carried him away. The themes that are discussed in this place are tyranny, nationalism and environmental warning. Muktadhara is a rich tapestry of themes, each woven with a Thakur's characteristic philosophical depth. The play serves as a profound critique of a modern societal ills. The tyranny. The king Ranajit embodies the tyrannical ruler whose obsession with the power and control leads to the sufferings of his subjects. Next, we see the nationalism theme in the play. The Thakur criticized the blind nationalism where the national identity is prioritized over the universal human values, leading to conflict and division. Next, we see the theme of environmental exploration in the play. The dam symbolizes a human intervention in nature, warning against the dangers of exploiting natural resources for power without regard for ecological balance or human impact. The next theme is mechanization. The dam is a metaphor for the relentless march of industrialization, mechanization, and questioning whether the technological advancement truly serves humanity or merely creates new forms of control. Next, the theme is the quest for freedom. The struggle for the free flow of water represents the universal human desire for freedom, either it can be political, spiritual, or intellectual. The Thakur critiques the blind nationalism and the political self-interest as a disruptive force against the humanity and the nature. The dam is a metaphor for the mechanization impact and the dangers of exploiting the natural resources for power. The play has the enduring messages such as the Rabindranath Tagore in Muktadhara remains a timeless masterpiece, its profound message continuing to flow freely across generations and cultures. Next, the play calls for dismantling of all forms of barriers, be they political, social, or ecological, that restrict freedom and foster division. It challenges us to choose empathy and compassion in our interactions with others and with nature, rejecting the urge to dominate and manipulate. Thakur advocates for a world built on harmony and unity where differences are celebrated and collective well-being triumphs over individualistic greed. Ultimately, the Muktadhara reminds us that the freedom is not merely the absence of external restraint, but the state of being where the humanity lives in harmony with itself and the natural world, allowing the free current of life to flow unimpeded. Through its compelling narrative and richly drawn characters, Muktadhara continues to challenge the audience to reflect on fundamental questions of justice, responsibility, and the true meaning of progress. Its timeless relevance ensures its place as a foundational work in global literature and a beacon for a more just and a harmonious world. Now let us discuss about a description of the major characters in the play Muktadhara. The power of Muktadhara lies in its compelling characters, each representing distinct facets of power, morality, and the human spirit. Ranajit. First, let us discuss about the characteristic of Ranajit in the play. Ranajit is the autocratic ruler of Uttarakhand, obsessed with control and blind to the sufferings his actions cause. He represents the unchecked authority and the perils of prioritizing a power over humanity. His pride in the dam is a symbol of his materialistic, and domineering world view. Next, we see the characteristic of Vibhuti. A Vibhuti is a royal engineer and the architect of Muktadhara Dam. Vibhuti embodies the pride of scientific and technological achievement diverse from ethical considerations. He is passionate about his creation but fails to see its oppressive consequences. Next, we see the major and important characters in the play Abhijit. Abhijit is a crown prince later revealed to be of a non-royal birth who embodies the conscience and ultimate sacrifice. His journey from higher to rebel highlights the struggle between a duty and morality, and his connection to the spring symbolizes his inherent alignment with the nature and freedom. The next major character in the play is Dhananjay. The Dhananjay is the ascetic leader of the oppressed people of Shivtare. Dhananjay represents the power of spiritual resistance and a non-violent civil disobedience, Satyagraha. He guides the villagers with a moral strength and unwavering faith in justice. With this, we conclude the major character description in the play. Thank you.